Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie, I'm back again. And, well, continuing the Generation 1 marathon, today's review will be on Generation 1 Prowl. Now, as we can see, Prowl here is a police car, or to be more specific, a Fair Lady Z. And this is when my first stops working. But as I was saying, Prowl here is a Fair Lady Z. Although this one's a highway patrol police car. So in case there's any Decepticons trying to, I don't know, reenact what they've seen in Grand Theft Auto, then Prowl's here to stop them. We're having a look at his vehicle mode. You can see the side with the door. And that can actually open, because this is diagonal figure. And well, before I continue, I forgot to show something. I have Prowl's box. Although in this case, the Commemorative series reissue. So yeah. What about Prowl? Changes from car to robot and back, because of course. Some art of Prowl. The underneath, which just shows the figure. And if you remember my review on the Sunstreaker, I said that the G1 boxes, or the underneath of the G1 boxes, were quite unique because they showed the figure or what they came with. Whereas of modern figures, they just show the licensing. Well, yeah, here you can see what I mean. The top, which just shows the vehicle mode and the robot mode. The sides, which just show the same thing. And the back, which shows, well, not a space battle, but art of tons of Autobots. Now, if you want to, pause and comment all the Autobots you're able to name. Or just listen to me name them all. So we've got Grimlock, Trax, Sideswipe, Sunstreaker, Blaster, Windcharger, Brawn, Bumblebee, Huffer, Ironhide, Mirage, Superion, Optimus Prime, Prowl, and Ratchet. Well, it tells you about the Transformers, and we've got this text spec, which I'm just going to read. Now, function, military strategist. Logic is the ultimate weapon. So this guy and Spark will be good friends. Prowl is a clear thinker who's able to see beyond the chaos of battle and discover the rational routes to victory. Good for him. His logic sense... I can't even speak. His logic center is the most sophisticated in the Autobot army, capable of analyzing complex combat situations and making... I can't even speak again. And making strategic decisions almost instantaneously. His only drawback, unexpected events have been known to scramble his circuits. I can relate. Launches powerful wire-guided missiles and high corrosive acid pellets, so that's a bit messed up for a cop. But as you can see, instead of the decoder, what it shows is just the lines just out in the open there. So, I know you can't really turn your computer sideways, but still, this box is quite big. So, his strength is a 7. Intelligence is 9. Speed is also 7. Endurance, rank, and courage are all 9. His firepower is 4. And his skill is also 9. Now, if you know anything about the commemorative boxes, you know that they open up like this. And what this does, I'll show you as for other figures. And in there we can actually see his missiles, which I just keep them on the sprue. Here we have Skywarp, Trax, Red Alert, Inferno, and even MPO1. the first masterpiece Optimus Prime. That's pretty much it for his box. So let's just continue looking at the figure. So as I was saying, these doors can open. This was a Diaclone figure, so you can fit one of the little drivers in there. Here it says Police and Highway Patrol, and this little hatchback does open. Oh. The other side with the other door. The front where it says Police. The top with the light bar, and this can come off, so if you're looking for this figure online, then be wary that it actually has the light bar. The rub symbol, which if I can just get that to work, if I can, there we go. And the underneath, which, well, shows his arms, and underneath here, it says Hasbro 1980-1982, Takara Company Limited 1980-1982, and made in China. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his police car mode. Now, if you see my Energon Prowl review, I've done a comparison with that Prowl to this Prowl, from what I can remember. So if you want to see a comparison between those two, then just watch that review. But if my throat will actually stop, if my throat will stop closing up, let's get on with this guy's transformation. So open up both doors, like so. Come in under here. Untab the arms and move them out, like so. Extend the back. Lift that up. And right now it's all loose. But if you spread the legs, then it won't be loose anymore. Come in here, move that. Try and orientate the arms. Lift up this bit. Spin him around at the waist. And unlike Mirage, this guy is way more sturdy. And I guess if you want to have this as sort of a fake GoBots mode, if you remember the Super GoBots, they all had like windshield faces, then you can go ahead and do that. But to finish the transformation, take this bit and move that down to show his head. And that's pretty much Prowl in robot mode. So yeah. Now having a look at his head, well, we can see it's a pretty standard head, and it has these red fins. And from what I can remember, Prowl's head was actually the inspiration for the Autobot insignia. You can see that. Yeah, Prowl's head was apparently the inspiration for the Autobot insignia. I mean, sure, why not? Now, one cool thing is, these wheels stay the same, so if you want to, you can roll them, well, you can still roll them along like so, if he doesn't face plant. So you can technically have Prowl on roller skates. Just be careful, though. Now, for this guy's weapons, well, he has this gun, and this bit can bend a bit easily, so be careful. But his gun can plug into his hand. And from what I can remember, the original vintage 80s Prowl release actually had this as silver instead of grey. Well, not grey, black. Apparently, I'm colorblind. But yeah. And we also have these missile launchers. Now, as you saw with the box, I keep the missiles on the sprue because this being one of the commemorative reissues, it doesn't have the spring. So you can't really shoot anything, sadly. But these just plug right into the side of his head, so I guess that means you can't really hear anything that clearly. But yeah, that's pretty much Prowl's artillery. Now, for Prowl's articulation, technically he can look down, technically. I need to stop repeating words so often. But he can move down, sort of. These wings can flap if you want to. Unfortunately, his arms don't move up. Though he does have shoulders, so he can still shrug. He's got elbows, and his wrists can rotate. And well, he can T-pose. Although, there we go. He can T-pose, which is amazing. Because T-posing figures are awesome. Well, I guess technically you can lift up the arm, but it also moves up the tile with it. If you lift this up, he has waist rotation. But that's pretty much it. There's nothing at the legs, because once again, they're interconnected. So he can't kneel, he doesn't have knees, he can't do the splits. There's pretty much nothing at the feet, sadly. So, complaints. Well, I can't really think of that many because, unlike with Sunstreaker and Mirage, this guy's an authentic figure. I suppose one complaint could be the lack of actual missiles. I mean, I know why they did that, so they didn't have to... So they didn't get sued for kids being stupid and eating them and choking, but even then, they could have just elongated the missiles like what they did with Ultra Magnus. Sure, it would have been stupid, but still, at least he would have had firing missiles. I suppose another complaint could be, well, and it's just my copy, the stick is appealing a little bit, because as you can see with this door, the stick is peeling a little bit, and the front police thing, but it could just be my copy. But aside from those two complaints, this guy's cool. Prowl's a really cool figure. So, this is pretty much this is it for my review on Prowl. And well, do I recommend... I can't even speak today. That's like the third time my tongue's tried to not work. But do I recommend Prowl? Well, once again, if you're a huge G1 fan, then definitely. If you're a G1 fan or a G1 completionist, because this guy is really, really cool. Plus, he's been reissued a couple times. For example, there's the original release. You see, my tongue is just not working today. But as I was saying, if you only want to buy vintage figures, then granted it could be a bit pricey. But if you don't mind buying reissues, then there's the Commemorative series reissue, there's the Japanese Transformers collection reissue, and I think there's also an Encore reissue. As of this recording, this guy's not been reissued in the new 2018 reissue line yet, but who knows what the future will hold. But say you hate how this guy just has really crappy articulation in the legs, and you want a Prowl that can actually do the splits. Well, maybe not this figure, but if you still want a G1 Prowl, then I'd say go with the Siege or Earthrise version of Prowl. If you want a G1 Prowl with articulation, just go with either the Siege or Earthrise one. But if you don't mind how this guy cannot do the splits, then yeah, definitely get this figure. Because I really like this guy. Well, that's been my review on G1 Prowl. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.